It's time to put our affordable home on our affordable home site. So I have my site drawing open up in Revit, and I'm going to put our house here on our building site. However, as part of that, I want to change some of the contours or elevations or grades on our site so that it'll still tend to drain down towards the south, but I want it so that we don't have any drainage from this area potentially coming onto our site. So you can see up here at 771 feet, our site's 770. I would like our house to be sitting at an elevation that's above these so that we're draining out off of our site all around. So one of the problems with that is if I put some new points in here to establish new elevations, I may affect the way that Revit shows the contours out beyond our site because it'll interpret our new elevations and try to blend it with the rest. So one of the things we can do is we can fool Revit by splitting our site so that inside of this concrete walk and these alleys, any changes we make won't affect anything out beyond our site, which is what we want. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to choose on the Massing and Site tab, Split Surface. And the surface I want to split is this primary site. There are several surfaces inside of it as subregions, but if I select this outside, it's the entire site I'm going to select. So I'm clicking this topo surface to split. I'm going to come up here and draw a rectangle, and I'm going to zoom in as super close here in the upper corner where the two concrete walks intersect. I don't want to snap onto the concrete walks. I want to be as close as possible without attaching. So that was pretty close. Zoom back out and then come down to where the alleys intersect down here and do the same thing. Come in as close as possible without actually connecting to those lines. That's pretty good. When you zoom out, you can see that our new split surface looks like it's right on top of the existing lines of our property. So I'm going to click check. And now instead of having one large site, we have the overall site and then our surface inside. So now I can come in and bring in my house. And the way that we're going to attach our house to the site plan is we're going to link a Revit file. So I'm going to come up to Insert. I'm going to click Link Revit. I'm going to go search for my home. Users. Okay. And you know where your site, your affordable home is. Mine is buried down deep in my computer. And let's make sure we're not getting a backup. Make sure we're getting the root file. Okay. And it'll take a second to think about it. And now my Revit affordable home file is linked to the site. I can't edit the home in here. The home is just an image of that file, but I can move it around. I can change its heights. I can change its orientation. And I think that what I want to do first is I want to rotate this so that I would like my front door to look out towards that beautiful gas station. And I would like my house to tend towards this side of my property. I'm going to draw on a 25-foot building line, but I think I'm pretty close at this point. And last but not least, I don't want to see all the stuff in my house, so I am going to come down to Visual Style and pick Hidden Line. And now my house is gone. Well, we all know, hopefully by now, that the easiest way to figure out where the heck everything is gone is to draw some sections. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to draw a section that cuts through the site and looks up towards where my house was. Of course, that's not horizontal. I want it to be horizontal. Delete that. I'm going to draw a section, cuts through the entire site, looks up towards where my house should be. And I'll double click on this section marker. And the problem is my house is way down here. So if I select everything, clicking upper left, drag all the way across, Oh, that's only my levels. Let's hide the earth. Can I do that? Nope. So let's go back to my section that I just drew. And I'm doing this intentionally so you can see some of the pitfalls you might run into. Let's go back to the first floor, or the site plan. Click on this. My view depth doesn't go all the way back to where my house was. So let's move it all the way back. And now let's go back to the section. And oh, sure enough, now we see much more associated with the house. Now when I select everything, I'm going to move it so that that whole mess of stuff comes up above. Oh, and look at that. Now my house is up above the site plan. And if I go back to the site plan, sure enough, there we see it. And at this point, the best thing would be that now I know where my house is, I'm going to drag this section so it goes up through it. And I'm going to change the view depth so it just shows my house. Because at this point now, I'm going to right click and hide all of these, whole category of all my elevation markers. And take a look here just at the first floor. Let's go to fine level of detail. And I am going to want my first floor to be, oh, I don't know. Let's pick 773 feet. And I'm not exactly sure where 773 feet is, but for now, let's kind of drag it up. That looks a lot better. But one of the ways that I can see exactly where 773 feet is, I can come back to my building site plan. I'm going to draw in some points now. So up on massing and site, I'm just going to select my split region down here. I'm going to click Edit Surface. I'm going to put in some points. And I'm going to put them in at 773 feet. And you say, well, how on earth are you picking 773 feet? Well, because I got 772, 771. I just want to be a couple feet above that. I'm randomly picking it at this point. And 773, I'm going to draw a region just around the house. So now the height of the earth, or the grade, right at the house is 773 feet. That's not what I'm going to want, but it's just giving me a point at which I can establish my first floor height. Click green check mark, come down to section, and now I need to move up a little bit. And this isn't an exact science. Just going to drag up until it's a little high. There's my first floor. There we go. So now you can see there's 773 feet. There's my first floor. They're pretty much right on top of each other. And I'll now go back to my site, and I'm going to edit those points now because I don't want 773. I'd actually like the grade to be 772. So I'm going to control click these points to select the four that I had drawn. Instead of 773, we'll make these 772. Hit enter. And you can see now that the slope changed a little bit. It's a little more gradual. But this now has reshaped the contours of our site without affecting the site around it. At this point now, I would start drawing a driveway, some sidewalks. I'd put on some landscaping. If you'd like to change some of the contours, if you'd like to create some berms to block out, you might draw those in. And it's just a matter of adding points for the driveway, adding a sub-region, and for plantings, it's adding components. And that's it. That's your site plan. Good luck. One additional thing is when you're done linking your house, it's a good idea to come up to File and Save As and click this as another project. And I would name this whatever your last name is, first initial 231, an affordable home site. Just so that you have it named properly and you can differentiate between your site project and your home project. So make sure that if you are in edit mode, which I was in, it kicked me out, that you do another save just to make sure that all the changes you make are saved on there. And you can see that because I was in edit mode, it didn't change those. So I'll need to go back and edit my surface, change these points, just like we did before. But make sure you save your file. Good luck.